This is News 3 Now at 5.
Thanks for staying with us tonight at 5. Earlier this week, the Big 8 conference announced it will not be having fall sports this year.
But now the WIAA is chiming in and saying fall sports are a go. Our Melissa Kim has more on the motion. Melissa?
Well, Mark and Susan, so the WIAA has divided fall sports into two categories: lower risk sports like girls golf, girls tennis, girls swimming, and girls and boys cross country. And then there are the higher risk sports that includes football, boys and girls volleyball, and girls soccer. Now those are the ones where you naturally have more human contact. Now the lower risk sports will start practice on August 17th, while the higher risk ones are being pushed back to September 7th. Now what about here in the greater Madison area? As Susan mentioned, the Big 8 conference already said on Tuesday that it would not have sports this fall. Well, the WIAA is working on some options for those schools to play in the spring and any other schools that are in a higher risk COVID-19 area.
We have a history here in our state of having both a spring baseball season and a summer baseball season. We've gotten it done. So what if we have a football season and a traditional season, and then we come back and figure out a calendar that allows those members who are not able to go in the traditional fall season an opportunity for a football season sometime in the spring. Let's provide as many opportunities for this membership to serve their kids. I say that now recognizing it is not that one size fits all.
Now, so with that in mind, WIAA Executive Director Dave Anderson, who you just saw there, he says that it's important to give these student athletes as many opportunities to participate in sports as possible. So that means, what about the postseason? Well, Anderson says they're still working on a plan, but they really want to shift away from a mindset that emphasizes state championships and perhaps move to a regional or district championship, but nothing is set in stone just yet.
Melissa, thank you. Governor Tony Evers said he is still looking at issuing a statewide mask mandate. There are legal concerns with the state Supreme Court ruling that tossed the Safer at Home order. The statutes that give the Department of Health Services its power to combat communicable diseases are in question now. But listen to how quickly he answered a reporter question today when asked what he would do if that wasn't a concern.
Governor, if you could be confident a mask order wouldn't face legal obstacles, would you have any hesitation about enacting one for the state?
No.
The governor said while his administration is looking into it, that shouldn't stop anyone from wearing a mask right now.
Meanwhile, anti-mask supporters held a rally at the Dane County Department of Human Services building today. Event organizers of the rally say they do not support wearing masks and are, quote, sick of their freedoms being infringed upon. They say health officials and county officials are abusing their power by having a mandatory mask mandate.
I think somebody mandating, forcing, and bullying you to wear something over a vital part of your body that's responsible for oxygen exchange is not fair to mandate on them.
Organizers of the rally say that wearing a mask should be left up to each individual person. UW health doctors say choosing not to wear a mask increases a person's degree of exposure to the virus. They say along with social distancing, masks are most effective when everyone participates.
The wearer is emitting any kind of droplets or viral particles that the mask will contain some of them. The other benefit of a mask is that people around the person who's wearing a mask will benefit from that. And if they are wearing a mask as well, then it's a two-way protection.
Doctors also say mask wearing in public is especially important because it's impossible to tell who has the virus, noting even people without symptoms are capable of spreading COVID-19. They're recommending having a selection of cloth masks to be washed between use and not to be worn more than a day. They say physical distancing is most effective in limiting your exposure to the virus, but in situations where that is impossible, like riding the bus, wearing a mask becomes even more important.
11 more people in Wisconsin have died due to COVID-19 complications. Wisconsin's death toll is at 880. A total of 46,085 cases have been confirmed across the state. That is an increase of 955 cases since yesterday. Over 9,500 of the cases are still active. The positive percentage of new COVID-19 tests in Wisconsin has increased as daily testing remains consistently high this afternoon, with over 15,000 10,000 tests in the past day. 6.9% of those tests came back positive. That is up from Wednesday's 4.8%.
The U.S. on Thursday surpassed 4 million officially recorded COVID-19 cases, and a quarter of that count came in just the last 15 days. Health experts say the country's rising death rate of combined coronavirus cases, along with a near record number of hospitalizations, signals the U.S. is far from containing a virus that is straining hospitals and labs. About 59,600 people were hospitalized with COVID-19 in the U.S. yesterday, roughly 300 short of the country's peak recorded in mid-April. At least 143,820 people have died in the United States. UW health officials say that they are ready to meet health care needs of the community if there is a potential surge of COVID-19 cases.
We've met with leaders in different clinical areas saying, you know what, we've brought back a lot of these procedures. We may need to turn the dimmer switch down on some of these for a short period of time, postpone them, do them a different day so that we can make room for COVID-positive patients that are needing care in our system. So now the plan is in place. We're doing this careful balancing act of meeting the healthcare needs of the community while always being ready to increase our COVID-positive capacity.
Since the COVID-19 pandemic started, they wanted to ensure they could increase their capacity for COVID-19 patients. That including making sure that they had physical space to hold both regular and COVID patients at the hospitals. They had to make sure that they had proper supplies, including N95 masks and ventilators in case their patients needed them. And they had to make sure they had proper staffing.
Governor Evers has announced over $46 million in funding for K-12 schools. The governor announced that 155 local education agencies are eligible to apply for the $46.6 million provided to Wisconsin through the governor's Emergency Education Relief Fund through the CARES Act. Last month, the governor announced more than $80 million in financial assistance for K-12 schools and higher education. White House officials say they've reached a fundamental agreement with congressional Republicans on a Phase 4 coronavirus package. The trillion-dollar proposal includes more than $100 billion for schools and universities. The final proposal will not include a payroll tax cut, something that President Trump had fought for despite opposition from Democrats and some Republicans. One sticking point could be unemployment benefits, with the additional $600 payment that were championed by Democrats due to expire in days.
Why do they have to make a fuss over $600, which means a lot to many working families?
I would not support something that would pay on unemployment more than you would earn if you were working.
The two sides are also split over the amount of additional funding for testing. Though this week, President Trump said the federal government is working on getting more personnel and rapid testing to nursing homes and hard-hit states. White House negotiators are hopeful a final bill will be ready for a vote by the end of the week.
The U.S. government reports another 1.4 million Americans filed for first-time unemployment benefits last week. It's the first time initial jobless claims have gone up in nearly 4 months. It comes as some states roll back reopening plans and newly reopened businesses close down again amid surging coronavirus cases. And the additional $600 a week enhanced unemployment payments are set to expire at the end of the month. Continued claims, which count people who have applied for benefits for at least 2 weeks in a row, slipped to 16.2 million.
Let's get a check on the weather now. It was a nice afternoon out there today, and the heat and humidity are coming back, though, right, Gary?
Just in time for the weekend, like the last couple of weekends have been that way. Let's start out by taking a look at visible cloud track across Wisconsin. We've had some clouds build up, but other than a sprinkle or two of rain for the most part, we've just been dry from the clouds that are out there. You can see on Doppler track not showing any precipitation across the state. In fact, most of the upper Midwest right now is pretty dry. Temperatures are in the upper 70s to around 80. Madison did make it to 80, Janesville at 81. Temperatures a little cooler closer to Lake Michigan, but the dew point temperatures are still pretty comfortable. Upper 50s to the lower 60s. Those numbers will increase as we head into tomorrow, along with the temperature. Look for a high of 85 for tomorrow with heat index readings back into the upper 80s and lower 90s. Still expecting a hot and humid weekend with alert days in the forecast, but a break in the heat and humidity possible for next week. I'll have more details on that and weather in a few minutes.
All right, Gary, thank you. Walworth County has released the names of the people involved in an officer-involved shooting in Whitewater earlier this week. The Walworth County Sheriff's Office says 32-year-old Christopher Serpak Serpak made statements about killing his estranged wife and then killing himself. Deputies say Monday morning, Serpak's estranged wife reported that a male had broken into her apartment. About an hour and a half later, law enforcement saw Serpak near her apartment. They approached him, but he ran away, and police say he pointed a handgun at officers. That's when he was shot. The two deputies who fired their guns, Wayne Blanchard and Peter Kruger, have been put on administrative leave while the investigation continues. Serpak of Whitewater had been charged with 3 counts, including armed burglary.
A Janesville man is arrested following multiple thefts and burglaries in the area. Janesville police said that video evidence from several homeowners identified 23-year-old Edward Toyer as the suspect. Officers say Toyer could face multiple charges, including burglary, theft, and a felon in possession of a firearm. President Trump says that he'll send federal agents into Chicago and Albuquerque to help combat rising crime as he runs for re-election under a law and order mantle. Trump spoke only of Chicago and Albuquerque, but the White House said in a later press release that the program would be expanded in the next few weeks into Cleveland, Detroit, and Milwaukee as well. The president talked to Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot about the decision.
These are going to be additional FBI, DEA, and ATF agents who are going to be augmenting existing investigations, but managed by the U.S. Attorney here in Chicago, who I know and trust.
But she warned that she is ready to fight back in court if federal agents operate in Chicago like they are in Portland. Coming up tonight at 6, Governor Evers reacts to agents coming to Milwaukee, what he's telling the president.
A Western Wisconsin man will share his millions in lottery winnings with a longtime friend because of a promise they made to each other nearly 3 decades ago. Friends Tom Cook and Joseph Feeney shook hands in 1992 and promised each other that if either one of them ever won the Powerball jackpot, they would split the money. Well, that promise came to fruition last month when Cook bought a winning ticket for a $22 million jackpot in Menominee. The men chose the cash option, which is about $16.7 million. That leaves each couple with nearly $5.7 million after taxes. Still ahead tonight on News 3 Now at 5, a reality check on one of President Trump's attack ads on Joe Biden. And coming up tonight at 6, parents are looking into new options to help keep their children's education on track during virtual learning. We'll tell you about pod learning coming up tonight at 6. Check on stocks. The Dow closed down 354 points today. The Nasdaq was off 245, and the S&P closed down 40 points. We'll be right back.
Wild Easttown Honda has clearance savings on over 400 new Hondas. Get 0% financing for up to 60 months on your favorite new Hondas at Wild Easttown Honda in Madison. It's gotta be wild.
The deals are heating up at your local Grand Appliance. Shop in store or online at grandappliance.com for the area's guaranteed lowest prices on hundreds of in-stock appliances. Plus, purchase by July 31st and get 0% interest through 2022 on qualifying purchases and up to $500 in extra savings available exclusively at Grand Appliance. Save on top brands like Bosch, GE, LG, KitchenAid, Samsung, and more. Grand Appliance and TV, trusted since 1930.
Though challenges surround us, life still goes on. There's still time to dream, still plans to be made. And if you're retiring soon, still deadlines to be met. We talk with people every day who need to replace their employer benefits when they retire. We can answer your questions too, so you can feel good about the decisions you make. For a retirement benefits checklist, visit us online or call Physicians Mutual Insurance Company today.
Physicians Mutual, Physicians Mutual.
Today we're facing a serious threat. We have to meet it as one country. Numbers don't lie. Infection rates are now going up in more states than they're going down. We gotta fight this together. Wear a mask. Keep your distance. Limit the size of crowds. It may be inconvenient. It may be uncomfortable, but it's the right thing to do as an American. We need a president who will level with the American people. President will tell us the unvarnished truth. President will take responsibility instead of always blaming others. President will listen to the experts, follow the science, allow them to speak. president will lead, be an example for the nation. We have to do all we can to keep our fellow Americans safe and healthy. I'm Joe Biden, and I approve this message.
Wild Easttown Honda has clearance savings on 400 new Hondas. Lease a new all-wheel drive CR-V for $269. That's $269 and absolutely zero due at signing at Wild Easttown Honda in Madison. It's gotta be wild.
Tonight at 6, the governor announces millions of dollars in funding for schools, and parents are looking into new options to help keep their children's education on track during virtual learning. We'll tell you about pod learning at 6.
This year, school is going to be full of changes.
What will school be like, and how can we make sure our kids are safe?
We're getting the answers you need to help you prepare.
So keep an eye on News 3 Now this morning and get ready to go back to school.
Well, President Donald Trump's new ad tries to stoke fear for a Joe Biden presidency by mischaracterizing the former vice president's position on defunding police.
Political reporter Amy Reed takes a closer look in this News 3 Now reality check.
Seattle's pledge to defund its police department.
President Donald Trump's new national ad shows an elderly white woman trying to call police when she hears someone breaking into her home. But according to the dispatcher,
"You've reached 911. I'm sorry that there is no one here to answer your emergency call."
The words on the screen there, "You won't be safe in Joe Biden's America," comes after Joe Biden wants to reduce police funding. And earlier in the ad,
Joe Biden said he's absolutely on board with defunding the police.
This is misleading. There are different ways that supporters of defunding police want to see the movement carried out.
Hey, guys.
Hi. For Joe Biden, he talks about his position in this Now This interview with activist Addie Barkan. It's where the Trump campaign got their info. The entire thing is about a half hour, and a part of it goes over the idea of defunding police. Here's what Joe Biden actually said he agreed with.
We can reduce the responsibilities assigned to the police and redirect some of the funding for police into social services, mental health counseling, and affordable housing. So, for example, instead of sending 2 police officers with deadly weapons to that Wendy's drive-thru in Atlanta, we could have sent a wellness counselor and a tow truck, and then Ray's Hard Brooks would still be alive today. And his 3 daughters would still have their daddy. Are you open to that kind of reform?
Yes, I propose that kind of reform.
So he does say that he wants to move some funding, but he doesn't say that he wants to cut it entirely, and he hasn't said that he's in favor of getting rid of police. In fact, his policies address training them and investing $300 million in community policing. That makes this ad misleading. For this News 3 Now reality check, I'm Amy Reed.
Thanks, Amy. If you have an idea for a reality check, you can email us at tips@channel3000.com.
Let's get a check on the weather now. Gary Canalti is here in the studio, and it's a nice evening out there.
Yeah, a couple of pleasant days in a row, but that will change as we look at 3 things you need to know in the forecast. Warm weather with highs in the middle 80s return for tomorrow, along with increasing humidity. By the weekend, high temperatures will be around 90. Dew point temperatures will be into the 70s, so that will make us feel even hotter. And there will be some thunderstorm chances from Saturday night into Sunday. Any thunderstorm could bring heavy rain and gusty winds, but some people will miss out on the rain altogether. Alert days remain in the forecast for Saturday and Sunday. For heat index readings, it'll be up around the triple digits, or in some cases even a little higher than that, depending on the dew point. And again, you know, the rain, while it could break the heat, at least for a few people for a short period of time, could also add to the humidity. Lots of moisture in the Gulf of Mexico. This is Tropical Depression 8, still below Tropical Storm Force with maximum sustained winds of 35 miles per hour. But the latest forecast from the National Hurricane Center makes it a tropical storm, which would be named Hannah as it moves toward the Texas coast and probably makes landfall somewhere around Corpus Christi by late Saturday or early Saturday afternoon, and then kind of weakens it as it pushes inland into parts of Mexico. But there are tropical storm warnings in effect for much of the central Texas Gulf Coast, including Corpus Christi. Tropical storm watches as far north as Houston and Galveston, and as far south as Brownsville. Meantime, Tropical Storm Gonzalo with maximum sustained sustained winds of 60 miles per hour, still in the Atlantic Ocean, but that is heading westward toward the Caribbean. You can see it is expected to weaken at least into a minimal hurricane and then maybe drop back to tropical storm strength as it passes south of the Dominican Republic and Haiti. So the tropics are really acting up, and that is starting to influence our weather indirectly. You can see not only Gonzalo, but also a lot of disturbed weather through the central portion of the Atlantic. And then not only do we have Tropical Depression 8, but more thunderstorms with a tropical wave moving through Florida into the eastern Gulf of Mexico. When the tropics act up, a lot of times that lifts air northward and causes it to sink and actually causes high pressure to form, and things actually kind of slow down in our part of the country. And that may be the case, especially as we head into next week. We have a weak area of high pressure right now, keeping our weather comfortably warm, but there is a warm front to the west. Now, on the other side of that warm front, temperatures jump up into the 90s. That's where we're going to be for the weekend, and you can also see the dew point temperatures climbing into the 70s through much of the Dakotas. That's also heading in our direction. But behind it, we will see a break in the heat and humidity, and notice the heat index readings, upper 90s to the triple digits like in Kansas City. So that's on the way for the weekend. Our forecast for tomorrow, a little warmer. Look for a high of 85 degrees, partly sunny skies. It also will be more humid, so the heat index in the afternoon probably between about 88 and 93 degrees. 7 to 10 day forecast. Again, alert days in the forecast for the weekend. Thunderstorm chances Saturday night into Sunday, and a slight chance on Monday. After that, dry weather, less humidity, temperatures in the lower 80s, very comfortable weather expected for much of next week, again, as the tropics remain active. And then as we head toward next weekend, temperatures back into the middle 80s, maybe a little more humidity toward the end of the weekend. As we take a look at first warn traffic right now, things are very quiet again on the Beltline. Traffic moving pretty much at the posted speed limit, not seeing any delays along the Beltline. Looks like a bit of a slowdown on East Washington Avenue from the downtown area out toward, say, the area just before you get to Easttown Shopping Mall. Right now on the Beltline, 15-minute commute in either direction between University Avenue and the interstate as you head out of Madison. 26 minutes on I-3990 southbound from the Beltline to Janesville. 17 minutes to Sauk City on US 12 from Middleton to the north and west. And then from downtown to Sun Prairie, it's a 16-minute commute on East Washington Avenue and US 151. That's your News 3 Now First Warn traffic.
All right, Gary, thank you. There's more to come on News 3 Now at 5. Up next, the MLB is making changes to the postseason before the 2020 season even starts. We'll tell you what they are ahead at 5.
You're watching News 3 Now at 5. News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Let's face it, dark stains and algae buildup can rapidly age a roof. But Mad City Roofing has the solution with our high-performance premium roofing systems. We're Wisconsin's #1 ranked remodeler. Get durable roofing with Scotchguard protection to prevent stains and streaks for long-lasting beauty. Lots of colors and styles available and thousands of satisfied customers.
And then we just wanted something we didn't have to worry about again. And we've seen this at Mad City or that. We thought, wow, that's the way to go.
Plus, ask about durable metal roofing options for a lifetime of maintenance freedom. And now during our Raise the Roof event, 75% off labor. Ask about 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for 18 months. Call during this program and receive a free $100 Amazon gift card with your free in-home estimate. Call 608-338-0590. That's 608-338-0590. Call now and ask about Mad City's Do More discount. Good for additional savings on new windows, baths, and showers, even kitchen updates. Mad City is ready to go to work for you. And remember, for roofing that looks great and won't leak, we got you covered. From metal roofing that looks like traditional roofing to our high-performance premium roofing systems. They're impact resistant, stand up to high wind, and backed with the Emerald Pro lifetime warranty. Call Mad City Roofing now to eliminate those roofing problems for good, and now take advantage of our Raise the Roof event. 75% off labor. Ask about 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for 18 months. And if you call during this program, receive a free $100 Amazon gift card with your free in-home estimate. Call 608-338-0590. That's 608-338-0590.
Arby's 2 for $6 everyday value menu is here. Choose from a crispy chicken sandwich, a gyro, and a beef and cheddar. Any two for only $6 every day. Tell your friends, tell your family, yell it from the rooftops, baby. Call that guy who still owes you $6. Arby's, we have the meat.
Seattle's pledge to defund its police department by 50%, even including a proposal to remove 911 dispatchers from police control.
Joe Biden said he's absolutely on board with defunding the police. Listen closely.
Yes, absolutely. Hello, you've reached 911. I'm sorry that there is no one here to answer your emergency call, but leave a message and we'll get back to you as soon as we can.
Crime will rise significantly.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
The Major League Baseball season hasn't even started, and the MLB Players Union has already expanded playoff plans for this season. The playoffs will be expanded to 16 teams this season. It still needs the final approval from MLB owners. Under the proposal, all second-place teams in the 6 divisions will qualify for the playoffs. That's according to ESPN. Meanwhile, Washington will be without one of its star players tonight as they take on the Yankees in the first game of the 2020 season. Nationals outfielder Juan Soto has tested positive for COVID-19. Soto spent the first 2 weeks of training camp in quarantine after coming in contact with someone who tested positive. He does not have any symptoms.
In about 25 hours, the Milwaukee Brewers will take the field and start their season against the Chicago Cubs. Today, the Brewers released its opening day roster. It features 30 players, 16 are pitchers. Of the 30 players, 6 are making their first career Major League opening day roster. That includes infielder Keston Hiura. Brandon Woodruff will take the mound tomorrow for the Brewers. First pitch is at 6:10 at Wrigley Field.
The former Washington Redskins team has a new name. The team announced today. For now, it will be called the Washington Football Team. The NFL team says the interim name will allow the team some time to go through an in-depth rebranding process, which will take into account input from players, alumni, fans, and sponsors. In the meantime, the team is working to retire all Redskins branding with the hope of it being completed by September 13th, the same day as the team's home opener against the Philadelphia Eagles.
A final check of your first WARN forecast when we come back.
Save big money on your next project with 11% off everything now at Menards. Find your style with Patriot Lighting ceiling fans. Menards has a huge in-store selection of Patriot Lighting ceiling fans to choose from. This 52-inch Guilford LED ceiling fan is great for rooms with limited ceiling height. Available in white or brushed nickel finishes, $44.47 after 11% off. Start saving with 11% off everything now at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
The summer fun means one thing. It's time to visibly say goodbye to crow's feet, fine lines, wrinkles, and under-eye bags, and say hello to smooth, beautiful, younger-looking skin in 10 minutes with Plexiderm.
Oh my God. I can't believe I have no lines in my face. I'm like 20 years younger.
Plexiderm smooths away wrinkles without foundation, without color makeup, and without expensive procedures. And it works in 10 minutes. Plus, the results last up to 10 hours. And best of all, you could try it for only $14.95 this summer.
This isn't the first time I've been on TV raving about this product. It's amazing. My friends, my family, they can't believe it. There's been creams, there's been lotions. Nothing works like this.
We were away on vacation. If you go down to the islands, they always want to take you in a booth and put some stuff on you. And my husband said, boy, that stuff really works. And I said, I washed this off hours ago. This is Plexiderm. This is what works.
When I tried Plexiderm the first time, my daughter said, oh, Dad, did you get a haircut? And I said, no, I tried this Plexiderm product out. Oh, you look so much younger. I said, oh, thank you.
The instant results are from naturally based silicates found in shell clay. Once applied, your skin tightens and firms, rapidly reducing under-eye bags and wrinkles from view in minutes. The science is incredible, but the results are even better.
Yeah, this looks really good. All the
these lines are gone. Amazing. Oh, I shouldn't say that. I look amazing. That's like so full of myself.
I've had under eye bags for a very long time, and it sucks. Finally, I tried something called Plexiderm. I put it on my face, and I'm not joking. It works.
So take action this summer and pack up your under-eye bags and wrinkles and put them on vacation with Plexiderm. Try our summertime special and get it for only $14.95. Plus, get free shipping. Visit plexidermtrial.com or call the number on your screen.
Right now, we're at a crossroads. We've seen what can happen when we elect a leader determined to divide us. As president, Joe Biden will forge a new path by growing an economy that works for working families, getting small businesses back on their feet, and expanding access to affordable health care. Joe Biden will lead us on the path forward, paved with opportunity for us all.
I'm Joe Biden, and I approve this message.
Coming up on the CBS Evening News, the U.S. passes 4 million confirmed coronavirus cases as another 1.4 million Americans filed jobless claims. Will Congress extend unemployment benefits? Plus, our interview tonight with the head of the NIH, why he says we're on the brink of a coronavirus vaccine and who will get it first. And how a set of twins is keeping children in their community safe after a near catastrophe in a swimming pool. That's all coming up on the CBS Evening News.
And before we go, Gary has a final check of the weather.
Looks pretty nice out there. Take a look at the live view from the WISC Skycam. Just a few fair weather cumulus clouds out there. Temperature right at 80 degrees. Most areas upper 70s to the lower 80s. And the dew point temperatures, for the most part, are pretty comfortable. Generally in the lower to middle 60s. You can see here in Madison, the dew point 61 degrees. Look for a high temperature tomorrow of 85 with a little more humidity. And then we're back to the heat and humidity for the weekend with highs around 90 degrees.
All right, Gary, thank you. We'll see you back here at 6 o'clock. In the meantime, have a good evening.